Hi, are you taking the US Citizenship Test? This video is part 7 on what you need to know about US geography. There are 8 videos in this series containing all the facts you need to know to pass the civics test first time. It's from the official government study guide and it contains all the 100 official questions and answers that you need to learn for the test. Let's get started. Geography. The Mississippi River is one of America's longest rivers. It runs through 10 US states. The Mississippi River was used by American Indians for trade, food, and water before Europeans came to America. It is nicknamed the Father of Waters. Today, the Mississippi River is a major shipping route and a source of drinking water for millions of people. The Missouri River is also one of the longest rivers in the United States. The Missouri River is actually longer than the Mississippi River. It starts in Montana and flows into the Mississippi River. In 1673, the French explorers, Jolliet and Marquette, were the first Europeans to find the Missouri River. It is nicknamed Big Muddy because of its high silt content. The Pacific Ocean is on the west coast of the United States. It is the largest ocean on Earth and covers 1/3 of the Earth's surface. The Pacific Ocean is important to the US economy because of its many natural resources such as fish. Europeans first learned about the Pacific Ocean in the 16th century. Spanish explorer Vasco Núñez de Balboa reached the ocean in 1514 when he crossed the Isthmus of Panama. Later, Ferdinand Magellan sailed across the Pacific as he travelled around the Earth in search of spices. Pacific means peaceful. Magellan named the Pacific Ocean the Peaceful Sea because there were no storms on his trip from Spain to the Spice World. The US states that border the Pacific Ocean are Alaska, Washington, Oregon, California, and Hawaii. The Atlantic Ocean is on the east coast of the United States. The ocean was named after the giant Atlas from Greek mythology. It is the second largest ocean in the world. The Atlantic Ocean is a major sea route for ships. It is one of the most frequently travelled oceans in the world. The Atlantic Ocean is also a source of many natural resources. The Atlantic Ocean was formed by the separation of the North American and European continents millions of years ago. The ocean covers about 1/5 of the Earth's surface. In the middle of the ocean is the Mid-Atlantic Ridge, an immense underwater mountain range that extends the length of the Atlantic and is a source of volcanic activity. The US states that border the Atlantic Ocean are Connecticut, Delaware, Florida, Georgia, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New York, North Carolina, Rhode Island, South Carolina, and Virginia. There are 5 major US territories: American Samoa, Guam, the North Mariana Islands, Puerto Rico, and the US Virgin Islands. A US territory is a partially self-governing piece of land under the authority of the US government. US territories are not states, but they do have representation in Congress. Each territory is allowed to send a delegate to the House of Representatives. The people who live in American Samoa are considered US nationals. The people in the other 4 territories are US nationals. Citizens of the territories can vote in primary elections for president, but they cannot vote in the general elections for president. The northern border of the United States stretches more than 5,000 miles from Maine in the east to Alaska in the west. There are 13 states on the border with Canada. The Treaty of Paris of 1783 established the official boundary between Canada and the United States after the Revolutionary War. Since that time, there have been land disputes, but they have been resolved through treaties. The International Boundary Commission, which is headed by 2 commissioners, one American and one Canadian, is responsible for maintaining the boundary. The border between the United States and Mexico is about 1,900 miles long and spans 4 US states: Arizona, California, New Mexico, and Texas. The United States established the border with Mexico after the Mexican-American War and the Gadsden Purchase in 1853. Gadsden Purchase helped the United States get the land it needed to expand the Southern Railroad. The United States bought this land for $10 million. The land bought through the Gadsden Purchase is now part of the states of Arizona and New Mexico. The US border with Mexico is one of the busiest international borders in the world. When the Constitution established our nation in 1789, the capital of the United States was in New York City. Congress soon began discussing the location of a permanent capital city. In Congress, representatives of northern states argued with representatives of southern states. Each side wanted the capital to be in its own region. As part of the Compromise of 1790, the capital would be located in the south, but in return, the North did not have to pay the debt it owed from the Revolutionary War. George Washington chose a location for the capital along the Potomac River between Maryland and Virginia. As part of the compromise, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, became the temporary new location for the capital. In 1800, after 10 years, the capital was moved to its current location of Washington, D.C. The Statue of Liberty is on Liberty Island, a 12-acre island in the New York Harbor. France gave the statue to the United States as a gift of friendship. French artist Frédéric Auguste Bartholdi made the statue. It shows a woman escaping the chains of tyranny and holding a torch symbolizing liberty. The Statue of Liberty was dedicated on the 28th of October 1886, 110 years after the signing of the Declaration of Independence. President Grover Cleveland accepted the gift for the American people. The Statue of Liberty is a well-known symbol of the United States and of freedom and democracy. The Statue of Liberty became a symbol of immigration because it was located next to Ellis Island, which was the first entry point for many immigrants during the great waves of immigration. The Statue of Liberty was the first thing new immigrants saw as they approached New York Harbor. Okay, let's now cover the questions and answers you need to learn in relation to geography as this part of the civics test. Name one of the 2 longest rivers in the United States. The answer is either the Missouri River or the Mississippi River. What ocean is on the west coast of the United States? The answer is the Pacific Ocean. What ocean is on the east coast of the United States? The answer is the Atlantic Ocean. Name one US territory. Potential answers are Puerto Rico, the US Virgin Islands, American Samoa, Northern Mariana Islands, Guam. Name one state that borders Canada. Potential answers are Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, New York, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Michigan, Minnesota, North Dakota, Montana, Idaho, Washington, Alaska. Name one state that borders Mexico. Potential answers are California, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas. What is the capital of the United States? The answer is Washington, D.C. Where is the Statue of Liberty? The answer is New York Harbor or Liberty Island. Thanks for watching. For part 8 of this series, please click below. That's on the symbols that you need to know for the test. After watching all the videos in this series, you should have all the facts you need to know to pass the test first time. Good luck in the test.